The government has now confirmed that menopause will be included on the NHS over 40 health check, a change that Menopause Mandate has been campaigning tirelessly for.
And this is not okay. And it happens every single day because there aren't enough people within the surgery. In fact, there's probably nobody in that surgery to be able to be an expert. So it wasn't like you could wait for someone else. There wasn't another person to pick up that role. That's the problem.
No.
Every single morning, from the moment he found out his diagnosis, he made himself wake up and write down 3 things that he was grateful for.
Yeah.
We all do it. We all do it, right?
For 20 years.
But he wouldn't let himself choose the same 3 things.
No.
And he went on and on for, I think he said, 284 days with just 3 things. And he said, you go really, really deep with this. Periods, fertility struggles, pregnancy loss, postnatal recovery, menopause. We have so many wonderful things that we have to deal with.
So I got pregnant. I wouldn't recommend doing that to try and get out of your symptoms, of course, although it is faster than getting your HRT prescription.
Angela, this whole shrouded in secrecy is already so prevalent with fertility generally, but especially with baby loss, right? So what would you say to people that are thinking, God, I just don't know where to turn and how to find that support?
I'd like to talk from an NHS perspective quickly, Carolyn, because of course one of the biggest arguments was that it would be costly to add this to the health check. But could this actually save time and money in the long run and improve care? That's what we're hoping.
But it's inevitable.
That you've just found out that a womb transplant is now all of a sudden possible.
Yeah.
Like, is that a trigger for you, or are you just happy for people in the future?
I think it would have been if you'd asked me that question maybe 15 or so years ago, but now it's different.
Actually, it's really powerful to hear you tell how you found yourself, navigated yourself in other ways, because so many women, I think, are taught that is the way. Especially now, when we were younger, fairy tales, and finding your prince.
And I'm excited now to be able to tell younger women this.
I'd always feel like I was lighting these candles for all my friends that had lost babies, and I wanted to light it for myself, but I felt I couldn't because I hadn't lost a baby. But we had lost embryos. And at that point when the embryos went into my body, I believed I was pregnant. So when it didn't work, I personally felt, especially that first time, like I'd miscarried. And I would tell people this, and they'd say, but you didn't miscarry because you didn't prove pregnant.
Juliana Prosper, Giselle Prosper.
Juliana Prosper and her 13-year-old daughter Giselle Prosper were both killed after being shot in the head at their home in Luton. Giselle's 16-year-old son, Carl Prosper, was also found dead alongside them. I didn't know, nobody told me it was abnormal until I went to try and get pregnant.
No one ever said maybe you should visit your GP.
A single person, they ran every test possible but no scan. And in the end they sent me for CBT counselling because they thought it was in my head.
Oh, I hate that that's a really familiar story, Sophie.
This wonderful camera is called a crane. If it hits you in the head, for goodness sake, just smile through it.